1977 Mgb Gt. This was a rubber bumper car at some point in its life, but it's been debumpered. We've got the big fiberglass front splitter on there. Before we get into it, I'll quickly show it comes with two better seats, basically two Gt style seats there, 1 and 2. No rips or tears in them. Well, a little bit of a clean, but no rips or tears at all in them. So it does come with those two seats. So bodyweight wise, we'll start off at the bonnet. It's been off the road a couple of years. This one's got a lovely history file with it. It's had some money spent on it underneath, that's for sure. It's got a lovely history file, like I say. It's going to want to tune up. It does start on the button, but it sort of backfires a little bit when you try and sort of get it up the revs a little bit. It will backfire. So it does want to tune up with it being standing a little bit. Up the bonnet itself, nice and straight, no dings or dents, but it's flat on the paint side of things. A little bit of an outwards dent there, but it is a bit flat on the paint side of things. It's been in dry storage for a while. Onto the seam on the left-hand side, you'll see we've got some paint flake there and some corrosion, but quite a bit of heavy paint flake as well. Up the left-hand side and across the front of the roof. Across the front of the roof's all nice and tidy. We've got a little bit on the left-hand side there and on that seam that I've just pointed out. As we come down the bonnet there, there's a few little sort of outward dents there on the left-hand side. Touch in there on the front of the wing. Headlights are nice and clear. Lower half section, got a little bit of cracking to the fiberglass front splitter there. Across the rest of the splitter is all okay. And again, some paint flake and some cracking on the left-hand side. You can see it's had a touch of paint there on the front of the wing down to the splitter. You've got your spotlights there, the chrome grille. Up the right-hand side, wing top's nice and straight. And again, some paint flake and some corrosion around the seam here on the left-hand side. A little bit underneath the window. And as we come up to the side of the window on the right-hand side where it meets the chrome trim, that gutter rail, we've got a little bit more there as well. Back down the arch and around the wheel arch there. A little bit of surface with some touch-ins coming through and a few little blebs underneath the chrome trim body line there. Down the lower half of the sill section, it's all painted. There's no nasty stone guard lines halfway up the door. It's all ready orange. Across the bottom of the door, there's a few little blebs on the bottom of the door on the driver's side. As you come up, we've got a few stone chips and a bit more of a bigger dent and a crack in the paint here on the right-hand side door, that is. So that is the driver's front door. We've got a little bit of corrosion at the top and some paint flake behind the handle. As we come across and down the rear quarter, nice and straight down that rear quarter, plenty of shine on the top half. Lower half's obviously had some work there around where it's been debumped, you can see on that rear section. As we come round and underneath there on the right-hand side, all nice and tidy. Across the top where we meet the window chrome meets the body panel in the seam, we've got some bubbling coming through on the seam and some heavy paint flake there because it looks like it's got quite a few layers of paint on this one. Down onto the rear light, nice and tidy. Bumper corner, like I say, it's all been debumped. You can see various bits of repairs it's had where it's been debumpered there. Across the back edge on the left-hand side, up the light there. Across the boot itself, it's probably going to want a new rear hatch really because there is some corrosion all the way along the bottom edge of that on the rear hatch, and we've got some paint flake and lift again around the rear window on the right-hand side. Come round down the left-hand side, we'll start at the top again. Across the seam there, we've got some bubbling on the paint side of things across the seam and a little bit underneath the window there. As you come down the rear quarter and around the arch, once again, nice and tidy around the arch there. Lower half section down this section here has obviously had some work, some waves and that in there. It's been welded in these caps here, but underneath I think there's some filler work to be done there. Down the lower half section on the sill, nice and tidy. A few little bubbles coming through on the passenger door there on the left-hand side. As you come up the passenger door, again, I've got a little bit at the top above the handle on the left-hand side towards the rear. A few little marks in the paint as you come down onto the left-hand side front wing. Again, nice and tidy around the wing, but with various marks here and there in the paint. And we've got a shallow dent here at the front of the wing. The Webasto looks to be okay. It's had a few little bits at the back, but it's nice and tight. Seems to be fairly waterproof, that as well. See that there as well on the Webasto. We'll come round the front again onto the interior. We'll have a good look at that. Door card itself's all okay. I'll get my words out today at some point. There's various wires hanging down, speaker wires I believe they are. You can see why we've got two replacement seats. The seats are torn there. Dashboard looks to be all okay. Dials are all nice and clear across the dash there. Aftermarket speakers fitted on both sides. I'll just lift the seat forward and you can have a look at the back seat. Back seat seems to be okay. Warrants a bit of a clean, but not ripped or torn anywhere. onto the boot now, and into the boot floor. Just lift this boot floor up here and have a look in there. Got the 5th rough style wheel there. Boot floor's all black as well. As we come on to the engine bay now, we have got the air filter caps there in the boot. They've obviously been taken off to get it running. There's plenty of wax oil in there and stuff like that. James is going to fire it into life. Like I say, it does start really well, but it's going to want a carb tune up. It seems to backfire through the carbs. Starts up well. Obviously the air filter's not being on going to help anything. But it ticks over perfectly fine, no problems at all there. But it is going to want to tune up, and there you have it. The Mgb Gt in red, debumpered with the spare seats there, with the deck chair seats.